Bulletins. Let me bring in the petitioner in this case, N. Ram, Director, the Hindu Publishing Group. Many thanks, N. Ram, for speaking here with NDTV. My first question, sir, is does the petition that you are part of question the blocking of the docu-series in general, or the move to block any documentary or film that is perceived as politically sensitive, or the use of emergency provisions here, or both?
The petition challenges the blocking order on constitutional grounds, and also specifically in terms of the provision and the reasons that would justify, or arguably justify, the use of that provision. And we say that it is illegal and unconstitutional, blocking the access to the documentary through Twitter and also YouTube, but also, as our senior counsel, Mr. Chandar Uday Singh, made clear in the court, the order has not been put in the public realm, and we would like that order to be disclosed. So there are two things. One, we are challenging the legality and constitutionality of the Secretary, Information and Broadcasting, issuing those directions. We believe they violate Article 19(1)A of the Constitution. The reasons which have been reported by the senior advisor to the INB ministry on Twitter do not fall under the limitations on free speech and freedom of speech and expression. But we also want the order to be disclosed. It's highly improper on the government to keep that secret. Unless you know what the order is.
Right. Yes. In fact, that's the point I was coming to, Mr. N. Ram. How worrying is it that a decision of this nature is not made public or not put out in the public domain?
It is outrageous, and we are confident that the higher judiciary will not allow this to pass. So let's see what the response is. I don't want to comment too much on a case where I'm a petitioner, but the issues are well publicized. I think the rules, the so-called IT rules 2021, are a serious threat to free speech and particularly media freedom in India, the internet freedom, in fact. So I think there are many challenges. At least 17 petitions filed in various high courts have been transferred or are in the process of being transferred to the Supreme Court of India. The issue is much wider than what is figured in our petition, but we are very focused on this particular action, this unconstitutional and illegal order, which has been used to block the right, because the right to information is part of the freedom of speech. Several Supreme Court judgments have made that clear. So I think we are very hopeful that we will win in this petition.
And are you more hopeful after today, because the Supreme Court has issued a notice to the government as well to show the original records relating to the order blocking the documentary, considering that that was also one of the points of contention? And I understand that during the course of the arguments, a point was also made that why shouldn't this matter first go to the High Court? Was it?
Yes, but it was pointed out that, there's a process of transfer to the Supreme Court. The Bombay High Court, in fact, has issued a stay order, and it seems to have violated that. But the matter it's in the ball. The ball is in the court of the Supreme Court. That was made clear in answer to that question raised from the bench by our distinguished senior counsel, Mr. Chandar Uday Singh.
All right, sir. My final question to you is that documentary films and even films, purely fictional in nature, have been banned in the past when, a political party that is in power seems to believe that it could be a comment on them. Can there be a way to insulate journalists and filmmakers from decisions based on political whims and fancies, or, is it a utopian idea?
It's a very good question. In answer to that, I'd say there was a time when I used to believe, and also I proclaimed in various forums, that India was in an enviable position when it came to free speech. It's not just affecting the media, but including and especially media freedom, in those days press freedom. But if I were to say that today, then I think I would be accused of purveying false or fake news, because now there's an amendment to these rules, which is, or rather a proposal, to amend the rules to make the Press Information Bureau the arbiter of what is fake and false in certain specific cases. And that, I think, is where we are going. I hope there will be opposition to it. I hope the higher judiciary will provide strong support to free speech and freedom of the media, to you and me, for example, but also the institutions involved. So I think there's a battle to be fought on it. Battle, I mean, a completely legal battle to be fought to defend freedom of speech and expression.
All right. N. Ram May, thanks for speaking with NDTV.